France. May 2021, I was diagnosed with a triple negative breast cancer that had already spread because I was misdiagnosed twice. Upon receiving the correct results, I started chemotherapy in Nigeria, but due to the severity and complications, my husband brought me to France. Upon arrival, I started afresh. While carrying out the test, they discovered I had lumps in the second breast and they advised I go for a double mastectomy. Also, the doctors told me that it was going to be difficult for me to conceive. 2018, after I gave birth to my daughter, I had complications during childbirth because I had cysts in my ovaries and fibroids. I was asked to do surgery and remove both, but I told them that I wanted to have more kids, so I decided to go for an IVF. I had 2 failed IVF. Coupled with the chemotherapy treatment I received, the doctors told me that it was going to be this difficult for me to get pregnant, so having a child was the last thing on my mind. In August 2022, that same August was Pastor Jerry's birthday. While Pastor Jerry was praying, I was half asleep and half awake, so I didn't know when I placed my hand on my tummy and I was saying amen. But he was praying that God should give women babies, and he said he sees angels carrying babies. He said even if you don't have faith, that his faith is enough. My husband tapped me and said, Pastor Jerry is praying for women to have babies. I quickly removed my hand from my tummy and I said, Lord, please give this baby you want to give me to women who need babies. On the 23rd of December 2022, I went to visit my oncologist because I was bleeding. Upon running a series of tests, he told me that they had to move swiftly to remove my ovaries, and he gave me 6 months, that within 6 months I should remove my ovaries. On the 2nd of January, Pastor Jerry gave this word of knowledge.
For the Spirit of God said to me, you have seen the sign, it doesn't look good, but thus saith the Lord, the result will be a big miracle. And I announce the sign will not determine the result. I'm not talking to everyone. The person I'm talking about, you know what I am saying. I said the sign will not determine the result. I said the sign will not determine the result. The sign may not look good, but you will carry your evidence.
I keyed into it and immediately the bleeding stopped. But I was still feeling sick, so my husband, who was about leaving for the US, decided to take me to the emergency. Upon arrival, they said, after going through my file, they told me that I had to quickly go in for IRM and ultrasound and CT scan. So the doctors decided to start with the ultrasound. A few minutes into the ultrasound, I noticed a change in the doctor's face, and he told me that I should permit him that he needs to do a pelvic scan. I said, okay. During the pelvic scan, he had a drop on his face. He was like, and I got worried. I started crying. But inside, I was saying, God, what you cannot do does not exist. He beckoned on the second doctor and she came and she had a drop in face. She was like, and then she went back, picked my file, looked through my file and walked up to me and told me, you're pregnant. I said, "Shey you dey whine me?" I called my husband immediately and my husband was so shocked. We didn't know whether to be happy or to be sad because I was on medications, coupled with the fact that I'm not 2 years post chemotherapy. So when I went to see my oncologist, he was flipping through my file and he told me March 24th is the day for the surgery. I told him I was pregnant. He paused and looked at me and he told me, "C'est pas possible, that it is not possible." I gave him the results and he was shocked. And he said, okay, that it's not going to last. But later he said, no, this is a miracle. He referred me to a hospital where they take care of high-risk pregnancy because I was termed a level 3 high-risk pregnant woman. Upon arrival, I was discussing with my gynecologist, and when she looked at my file, she was so shocked. And she told me, okay, that I know the complications involved, that since I am not 2 years post chemotherapy, it's going to be difficult, that she had to pass it through the board. A few days later, they called me and they said I had to run series of tests. After running the test, I was called later to say, okay, that I can go ahead. I was permitted. That was when the journey started. On the 5th of April, I went for my examination and my doctor noticed that I had an inflammation, and they also noticed some lumps, and they said I should go for echography of the breast region. That day, I was worried. On the 18th, Pastor Jerry gave this word of knowledge.
That negativity they are suspecting, we are suspecting is this thing. If your amen will turn, what they are suspecting will not be what they will find.
I keyed into it and I believed. When the result came out, it was nothing. They just said it was normal tissues that were inflamed, but there was no need to be worried. On the 25th of May, I received a call that I should come in to the hospital fast, that they discovered a chromosomal defect in the fetus, that I should come in. The 26th morning, I joined nsppd. Before leaving for the hospital, Pastor Jerry gave this word of knowledge.
Oh, I don't know who you are, but the Lord has me to declare, the last minute, nothing will go wrong. I don't know who it is for. You better take it seriously. Oh God, you are getting closer and closer. You are getting closer and closer. The sound of your amen. The last minute, nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. He is the author and the finisher. Author, finisher. The dying minute, nothing will go wrong.
It was just as if anytime there is a challenge, God through Pastor Jerry gave a word of knowledge for me, and I keyed into it. This is my evidence. I have carried my evidence. What God cannot do does not exist. I thank God also. I applied for my resident permit and I've gotten my resident permit. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. Thank you, Mommy Eno. Thank you, Pastor Oke, Pastor Uguru. May the oil on your head never run dry. Most